Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Chris, and on today's video we're talking about a fragrance from the house of Acqua di Parma. So it has been a long time since I have done an Acqua di Parma video. I got rid of most of my collection, unfortunately, because, there were so many new fragrances coming in and they were all starting to kind of blend in together, unfortunately. So this fragrance is new to me. It's not necessarily newly launched or anything like that. And I've actually been eyeballing this fragrance range from them for a long time. They're pretty pricey, even at discounters, but I found this one, I think, for 190, somewhere around that ballpark range, maybe 220. But it's part of the Note collection, and it's their more premium, more upscale range of fragrances. So this is what the box looks like. It came in another protective box to protect this box, but somehow this one is still messed up anyways, because you can see at the top, it is a velvet box and it has indentations on it. It is literally a mess, but it's a very nice plushy velvet material box. It's going to have the information here at the back as to the batch code, the size. This one is a 150 ml size. I believe all of them are this size, so they are all 5 ounces. And for some reason, I thought they were bigger, but I guess I was thinking incorrectly. When you open up this fragrance box, it opens up like this, and there you go. You get your bottle inside of there, and it has that beautiful, I think this is a royal seal for the Italian family, and it sits nicely, snugly in there with this beautiful silk, satiny type of material, and you take it out, and this is what the bottle looks like. So it's really heavy in person, I have to say that. The bottle is very sturdy, very expensive. It's kind of chamfered here on the edges, if you can tell. And then the lid itself is actually, I think it's crystal. So if you look at it there, it's very expensive looking. Very nice packaging. I also want to show you the actual sprayer. So if you spray it, very wafty. It's that LVMH sprayer that, Dior has, that Celine has, that Louis Vuitton has, which is very wafty and kind of misty. This fragrance was launched in 2016, and there is a backstory to this fragrance itself. It's essentially paying homage to the opera of La Traviata, which is an opera by Giuseppe Verdi. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. And this fragrance is supposed to pay homage and also be inspired from the aristocratic parties of the early 1800s. And when you think that, what comes to mind? This is going to be old, this is going to be foofy, a little fluffy, a little bit too much. It's going to be, very into itself maybe as a fragrance, but it's actually not. It's a very surprising fragrance. And when you read the notes, you think there's nothing revolutionary here. So the top notes, you're going to get bergamot and neroli. For heart notes, you're going to get violet, rose, and lavender. And for base, we're going to get patchouli and cedarwood. When you read these fragrance notes, you're like, nothing special here. Why is this fragrance so expensive then? So you actually have to smell this fragrance in person to kind of understand it. So it takes homage to Acqua di Parma's heritage, which is a Cologne range brand. So Acqua di Parma started with the original Acqua di Parma Cologne, and that fragrance itself is still around to this day. It launched in 1912, I believe. And this one itself pays homage to it with that beautiful rose that you can smell in the original Colonia. And obviously the bergamot and the fresh zestiness, that cleanliness that comes out of any kind of cologne, because that's the style of a cologne fragrance. But it also has depth without being heavy. And what I mean by that is the rose gives this a warmth to the fragrance itself. It gives it a very nice luxurious depth without being, too frumpy or too overwhelming as a fragrance, which is very nice. Do note that these are colognes as well, so they are not going to be the longest lasting fragrances out there. And it's surprising to see that these have the price point that they do with them being colognes. But when it comes to longevity, they're kind of their own unique, quirky little fragrance deal, because when you spray it on the skin, it becomes a skin scent after, 3 to 4 hours. I know a lot of people are not going to like that. if you spray it on your clothes, I should say, your clothes the next day for a few days will still have the remnants of this fragrance on it and you'll still be able to smell it. So on skin, not so good. On clothes, lasts quite a bit. So if you were to get this actual fragrance here at a regular retailer such as Bloomingdale's, Neiman Marcus, Saks Fifth Avenue, one of those, very prestigious stores, even Selfridges, well, those have different price points. But this fragrance would retail for 670 US dollars. So that is a lot of moolah. I think the fragrance smells like a very expensive fragrance. It's fresh, it's clean, it smells like an aristocratic party. Not from the 1800s, I would say maybe something a little bit more modern, a little bit more refined, if you will, but it also has that pizzazz of the old world and that old money aesthetic without being old fashioned or grandpa-y, if that makes any sense. So this fragrance, like I said, is going to be a perfect summer fragrance. It's also a very nice one if you're going to do a fall/winter event, maybe even a spring. I think this one actually just works year round. I believe there are 4 or 5 of them in this range, and I'm very curious to try the other ones because this one itself is the first one, which is Note di Colonia 1, and there are, I believe, like I said, 5 or 6 of them. I'd be interested in trying the other ones. This one, like I said, is just very versatile, very wearable, very expensive, very premium, but it's not going to be heavy or overly zesty or overly soapy. It's a just really well blended, well refined fragrance. I don't see that they have listed a perfumer for this fragrance, unfortunately. Let me know down in the comments if you know who's the actual perfumer for this scent, because I'm actually interested. It kind of smells like something Francois Dimashi would have created, but that's just me in my mind thinking that, because he also created Colonia Absoluta, which is another one that I really, really like. So I don't know. Maybe he is the same one, maybe he is not. But in regards of my recommendation, I definitely say that this is one to get. I mean, just look at that bottle. You're not going to be disappointed with this one, I don't think so, especially if you are looking for a fresh, zesty fragrance that's going to be very well balanced, well blended, and is just going to give you the sense of that old money aesthetic, but is going to work for every day. Especially if you're also new to fragrances, I think this is a really good one to get because it's light enough, it's likable, it's not going to be one that is going to be overly heavy or overly steered in one direction for one note. It's just all around a well done scent. So let me know down in the comments what your thoughts on this fragrance are. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Have you tried any other one from this range? I'm really curious to hear your guys' opinions because, like I said, this is a range of fragrances that I have been eyeballing for such a long time, and I finally decided to pull the trigger because Acqua di Parma's it's its own little world. People don't really talk about Acqua di Parma, but I think it's a very good fragrance house that doesn't get a lot of love and a lot of attention as it should. So don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe for more fragrance related content. Until next time, you guys, take care.